coming. My name is Jeff Filipovitz. I'm an attorney representing the family of Manuel Paez Teran. We are here today because 19 days ago, Manuel Paez Teran was killed by police officers clearing the forest of protesters. We know very little about what happened on that day. Manuel's family is here seeking answers. We don't know what caused officers to shoot Manuel over 13 times. But we cannot ignore the context of Manuel's death. We have heard the phrase outside agitator used to describe protesters. It's a phrase that has been used since the civil rights movement. And it's a phrase our elected leaders have used. But now we have a new phrase, domestic terrorist. Before and after Manuel's death, law enforcement arrested peaceful protesters and charged them with domestic terrorism. What is a domestic terrorist according to our leadership? I will give you examples. These are from the arrest warrants that were taken out charging individuals with domestic terrorism. Occupying a treehouse while wearing a gas mask and camouflage clothing. Domestic terrorist. Arrested while sleeping in a hammock with another defendant. Said accused is also a known member of a prison abolitionist movement. Domestic terrorist. These are from affidavits, from arrest warrant applications. We have samples that we will hand out to you later. Criminally trespassing on posted land, occupying a treehouse and refusing to climb down, resulting in an over 12-hour standoff. Domestic terrorist. We used to call that a sit-in protest. Now it's terrorism. I could go on. I'll give you one more. Arrested while occupying a hammock adjacent to other defendants. Also present on the property during the shooting of a state trooper by an activist. Domestic terrorist for being present. Where does that end? Is anyone who is at a protest liable for everything that happens at a protest now? Are these all domestic terrorists? Is this a law that anyone wants? Is this a rule anyone wants, no matter what side of any political issue you are on? This is untenable. That is the context surrounding Manuel's death. And that is why the family needs answers. So far, we have selected information released from the DPI. They are not answering questions. They are not providing the family with any information to understand what happened in the forest on January 18th. We are here with Manuel's family. Manuel's father, mother, brother will make brief statements to you all because Manuel is not a domestic terrorist. Manuel is a person. Manuel is a kind, was known widely as a compassionate person. I think when you meet the family, you will see where that compassion comes from. Whatever happened in the forest, this family deserves to know. The public deserves to know. Right now, demonstrators are scared to come forward. People who were in that forest on that day are scared to speak to us. And for good reason. They have been threatened. These terrorism charges are meant to send a message. And the message is clear. If you stand in our way, we will take you out of our way. We will not tolerate this dissent. There are plenty of other criminal laws that can be used if anyone has broken a law. There are plenty of crimes that can be charged against any individual who engages in acts of violence. No one condones that. But we cannot ignore this enforcement environment that is starting here in Atlanta and that one day will be used against other groups, maybe your group, maybe someone on the opposite end of the spectrum. This is not what we want, and this is not something that encourages a family, a grieving family, to trust what they are being told. In addition to the family, we'll also have my partner Brian Spears speak about our efforts to communicate with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. Jerry Weber is here from the Southern Center for Human Rights. Jerry is a constitutional law scholar who will answer questions and make a brief statement, as well as Kamal Franklin from Community Movement Builders, who will speak to the political mobilization efforts against the construction of Cop City. With that, I will introduce you to Manuel's mother. Could you please say your name and spell it for everybody? Yeah, for the...
My name is Belkis Teran, B-E-L-K-I-S, Teran. I am the mother of Manuel Esteban Paez Teran, from whom we are here. The name of Manuel, that comes from Emmanuel, means God with us. Esteban means victorious. Manuel was born in Maracaibo, Venezuela, on April 23, 1996. Therefore, Manuel is a Venezuelan, Maracucho from Maracaibo. Manuel graduated magna cum laude from Florida State University with a Bachelor of Science Psychology with an associate degree in sociology. Then began his studies in Panama in an integrated program for 2 years in Panama and 2 years in Florida. While in Panama, their participation in the university led there to be an adjunct student of a biology professor, and they thought when the professor asked there to do it as part of his duties. Then also founded and were president of the environmental club that is still operating. As caretaker of the environmental, they cleaned beaches every week, gave talks to raise awareness about the need to care for the beaches and parks. Manuel was very active in recycling and participated in many activities in the park on weekends with programs for children, adults, and the elderly. We are horrified by all that has happened to Manuel. I never thought that taking care of a park would be a dangerous thing. It would be so dangerous. There are many hidden things, and killing a person who was sleeping in the forest does not make sense to me. Killing a person who was sleeping in the forest does not make sense to me. We are living a horror. It is a social shame that this happened. For me, this unfortunate event shows the decomposition that is in the society. On the other hand, as a family, we are also amazed and grateful for so much love, support, and solidarity that we have received. Manuel worked actively for many years in projects that benefit different communities. During their time as a university student, they developed their organization capacity for a different humanity cause. They touched the life of many people, believers and and not believers, lucky and unlucky, hopeful and hopeless, happy and sad. My complaint is that the university teaches young people to think about the good, to do good to others, to dream for a better world, to seek alternatives to the old problems, and when they try to put this teaching in practice, they are killed, arrested, and treated like criminals. Treated like criminals for those who should protect them. Most of these activities are university students. All Manuel wanted to do was to protect the forest, preserve the good of the land for all people, create awareness and help organize different communities. They had no malice and no intention of committing illegal acts. They were a pacifist and had no intention of resorting to violence as a way of defending himself. Manuel was a defender of the forest. Manuel has a heart full of love for people, animals, and the trees. Manuel has a great interest in helping the disenfranchised, the voiceless, those unable to defend themselves. Manuel cared and loved a lot of group of people who are rejected for being different. All human beings were important for them. They were worthy of love, consideration, and solidarity. He tried to solve and mitigate their pain by meeting their needs. Manuel worked with social networks to create awareness by presenting the needs and asking for a financial support. And people respond to their call as much as possible. Manuel always made sure that all the donations would reach those who needed. He never kept money for himself. Manuel worked day and night for the good of others. They were very respectful. They have very good manners, very intellectual, very critical, and they read a lot. They were always with the book. Manuel main concern was the forest. They were suffer a lot when a tree was cut down. They were very sorry when there was destruction in the forest. When they plan an activity for the forest, okay. We have to cry, hug each other, and process our pain, and leave the job of defending the legal part of the law to the lawyer. We will work as a team, but each other on their own. We ask, and I ask the authority to allow us to honor Manuel. we want to hold vigil and private and public events to honor their work. As a mother, I am very, very sad, and I will not be able to see any more Manuel, touch him, hug, dare him, feel, smell, hear his voice. But we will keep them in our hearts. I wish Manuel to continue on his ways in the love of God. May God bless him. We pray for our peace. We will continue learning and practice all the good things that Manuel experienced. I am very sorry that there are no more people like them. We are going to honor Manuel by doing good things. We don't like destroy anything. We like to build and to heal. We like to heal the community, and I'm here for that. To heal the people, embrace the people, I love the people. That's why I am here. Thank you.
I want to begin with the biblical greeting, grace and peace from Lord Almighty, Creator of the universe, and His Son, Jesus Christ, my Lord. It's not easy to be in front of you today after physically losing a child and a special human being, Manuel Paez Teran. We are heartbroken of dark circumstances by which their life was taken from us. I pray full recovery of officer we were told was shot on say that morning. I pray for all individuals unjustly accused of terrorism who, like my child, want to preserve and protect just a piece of forest perfectly created by God. Since Manuel was a child, I remember his natural ability to make friends in just a few minutes. He also was a young man who worried about others, especially those who were indigent, homeless, in the need of care. Manuel was the one who would stop in the middle of the street and give $100 to a needy person, take care of the homeless, help to build the homes destroyed during the recent Florida storm, and build gardens. They profoundly loved his mother and his sibling. Manuel was so worried for the whole humanity. From my point of view, he needed to get a formal life, a formal job, settle down, have a family, have a life. They always respected my point of view as well I respected his. Always respect me, and at times we will agree to disagree. Manuel always was honest with his ideas. A couple of years ago, while talking about what I thought was his future should I be, I told them, Manuel, you cannot worry about the whole world. No puedes abarcar todo el mundo. You need to concentrate in one thing at a time. You are not Greta Thunberg. I was wrong. Manuel was able to reach the whole world. Somehow they followed my advice. Protect the Atlanta forest. Sadly, Manuel was the first environmental that has given his life for his ideas in the United States of America. While Manuel was able to accomplish so much, they were able to do so many things in his short life, guided by his ideals, love, passion, and determination. The Bible says in Romans chapter 8 that the creation is suffering of childbirth pain. The creation is anxious for the redemption of the Lord. Manuel was suffering the same distress than the creation. They cried when a tree was torn down. Manuel was happy looking how a recent planted tree was little by little growing, like a parent happy to see how their children are growing. Manuel was easygoing and caring. They grew up with the teaching of love to our neighbors, forgiveness, and reconciliation. We certain that Manuel will live forever with all of us and those around the world that are meeting him since January 18. Manuel left us a legacy. I will repeat what his mother suggested. If you care about his legacy in any part of the United States or the world that you are listening to this message, please plant a tree in memory of Manuel Esteban Paez Teran. I end now by saying, my son in heaven, Manuel, I see you. I see you.
Absolute honesty, trustworthiness, and reliability in nuclear power plant training, qualification, operations, and maintenance. Demonstrating moral courage to accept responsibility for one's actions, placing responsibility to the nation and Navy ahead of loyalty to individuals. I served aboard the USS Maryland out of Kings Bay, Georgia, in a community commonly referred to as nukes, short for nuclear propulsion. Integrity can mean a lot of things, so the Navy standardized it. It is important everyone in the world can trust our reactors 100%. They are, so go Navy. Nuclear power, you see, doesn't have good PR. Just ask HBO, the Chernobyl show. The Navy engraved this definition into us daily and practically. While I served on a deterrent patrol on the USS Tennessee, one of my shipmates was kicked out for falsifying his knowledge of a minor system he would never interact with. We took this very seriously. I can't help but mention my favorite watchstanding principle, forceful backup. You see, our sailors are also required to take the right action no matter what. If a senior officer was placing the reactor in danger, I could technically punch him in the face. I just needed to be right. Now, granted, reactor operators are usually nerdy, so that never happened. But anyways, I don't see integrity in the police or forceful backup. Nukes can't afford to get away with, well, not all nukes are bad. It would cripple our military. Calling protesters only charged with trespassing misdemeanor as terrorists is not absolute honesty and trustworthiness. Raise your hand if you know of any terrorists known for their infamous trespassing. We have been lied to. That is the truth. My call to action goes to the police officers. Find your moral courage and place your nation over loyalty to individuals. Forcefully stop each other from killing civilians. There was a little bit of a narrative that the cops had to fear retribution from the forest defenders, which I say with love, they're all a bunch of tree nerds, okay? And so let's look at some statistics. In 2022, police killing civilians, 1,176. Cops shot in action, 64. Guardian and Washington Post, if you want to check my references. Meanwhile, the police are a danger just to themselves. 239 police suicides in accordance with policechiefmagazine.org for 2016. I also ask any officers brave enough to contact my lawyers with any and all information. Stop just following orders. There's 90 million reasons why Cop City is evil. There's also 90 million reasons why it is still proceeding. There will be no integrity lessons in Cop City. Combat troops don't operate like Navy nukes. They follow orders without thinking. Cop City is creating a police officer for its buyers, the corporations. Do you think homeless people want militarized cops? I know my submarine brother, killed by a murder-suicide public shooting in Wisconsin, so not my sibling, could not have been saved even if SEAL Team 6 was defending that area. Cop City is worth $90 million because it is a facility that will train the police to protect the corporations that fund it. It will allow our governments to abandon us because the donors will be happy with their new protection. I am in so much pain missing my best friend. I kind of have social anxiety. I know I was a little hyped up, but I don't really have many friends, and I was fine with just Manny. Even though I had to share Manny to their cause, I loved him, loved them so much, and now my family is being put through this.